Hello people on the internet, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the fourth installment of OST Saturdays here on the channel. This week, we actually don't have a lot of stuff. I mean, there were some different OSTs and stuff that dropped, but not many from the I-dle worlds, at least that's like the mainstream K-pop idol world. Just very interesting. This will be the shortest OST Saturday we've done in a hot minute. But yeah, this week we've got kind of like a pre-debut, if you want to call it, of a Twice subunit. We've got Minnie from I-dle, and then this one's very interesting. We've got a song from the grave because bugAboo have an OST that released this morning, or technically like afternoon Korean KST, even though the group's been disbanded for like a month and a half now. But yeah, let's move it on over one time. 3 songs today. I will be looking at this screen, I think, a couple times, mainly because I have the Reddit post with all the OSTs listed on it for this week over on this monitor, even though like the video is over here. So just ignore me if I keep referencing back and forth to this one, but we're starting with Twice's Bouquet. Now, this is the J-line subunit. I'm calling it that because it's kind of been leaked that there will be a Twice J-line debut at some point this year, which is kind of exciting. Will it be the official first subunit for Twice? I think so. I mean, they had group songs for the Shape of Love album. Not Shape of Love, Formula of Love. Because they had 3 songs where they had like 3 members per, but this will be apparently like an official out and out subunit, which is kind of exciting. But they have done an OST for the, I think it's a drama, Liaison Children's Heart Clinic. So I know this got a lot of traction when it dropped, especially on the Reddit. And well, I've been waiting until now to check it out, so let's go ahead and take a listen to it, shall we? I'm hoping I got the OBS settings right and everything is working just fine. If not, apologies in advance. Volume up all the way. Oh, we don't need captions for this one. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Now, I don't actually know what language this is in either. Well, this will be all new to me. Very graceful though. Japanese. So refreshing to hear like Momo's like almost natural singing tone, even if it is that higher end. Because I know Momo's got a really good lower range voice, but it's really nice to hear like natural singing voice. Ooh. I can't tell what I'm feeling from this song. It's because it feels really happy and casual and bright, but there's also like a hint of longness to it. Little head voice flip there. I love the strings here. Sounds like a combination of cello, maybe viola. It didn't sound as high as a violin there, but very crunchy bow strokes too. Also, the same thing with Sana's voice too. It's not overly cutesy, which is really nice. Ooh, Momo with the vocal run one time. Okay. Oh, that bass is doing things. Key change. Very interesting choice to have the top line of the strings play the same melody as the vocals there. Hold the distinct and then bring it back. Ooh. Ooh, and some really pretty dissonance in the final chords there. Okay. 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 We're off to a flyer already. I think with this song, it really does portray, I think, the members' voices really well in that typically on a Twice song like this, you usually get Mina on like the really pretty flowing melodies of like the pre-choruses and the bridges, and then you get Sana on the really cutesy parts, or when her maybe not as much recently, but in the early Twice days, you get Sana on a lot of like the cutesy parts. I mean, she went viral for the shy 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 part in Cheer Up, right? And then Momo's kind of been her singing voice has kind of been like spread throughout the songs, but it's usually using that her kind of like naturally higher like I want to put some quotations, but like her cutesy high tone. It's I don't know what it is about Japanese idols per se, but a lot of them when they sing higher in their registers, especially for female idols, they tend to get into that like cutesy, almost squeaky voice. I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's how they're trained or something like that, but there is a very distinct vocal color that Japanese idols have, especially female idols once they get into their higher register. And while there are still traces of that throughout the song, especially for Momo and a little bit with Sana, Mina never really had that much to begin with. It doesn't feel out of place, and it doesn't feel forced in this than in some of like the Korean group songs that Twice have put out. And I think it's really refreshing because it feels comfortable to listen to almost. Like the song itself is a very comfortable vibe. In terms of vibes, we'll talk about that in a second, but like listening to the three members sing throughout the song, it doesn't feel like there's that many moments where it's like this line is being like forced out to fit like a group color. Like these three voices, kind of their like natural tones fit really well together already. It doesn't feel like there have been like little bits and pieces that have been tweaked to better fit like kind of like the Korean groups vocal color and stuff like that. The song itself though, I mentioned like halfway through, but it's really interesting because it's got like a very mixed emotion, at least for me, because it feels like it's kind of like a bright, happy song, kind of slower paced and kind of like a casual tone, but there's also a hint of it where it feels kind of bittersweet, or there's like a little bit of longing, like some deep seated angst within there. And I don't know anything about what this show is, if it's a drama or a film or what else is there, like a webtoon or whatever it is, but it feels like maybe it's like a romance show of sorts with angst in it. And I think the song portrays those two emotions really well. because it's not one or the other. It's a really nice blend of the two. Like there are moments when it feels happy, but the way the chord progression and the melody flows, there's when you think everything's going to be all happy, there's just a very slight hint of just like sadness that brings the happy energy back down a little bit, keeps it in check. I think very very well balanced song. Okay. Next is Minnie from I-dle, if I'm correct. Yes, it is. Ooh. Does this have captions? No, it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. So this is from the webtoon. It was all a mistake. Okay, I don't. Apparently, this had dropped a while ago. I don't actually remember seeing this on the uh, OST schedule, but there's a live clip for it that was uploaded 2 days ago, and I hadn't heard it. And since we have kind of a slower schedule, I thought I'd throw it in here. So, Minnie from I-dle. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I'm in the novel, 주인공의 friend. 다시 너의 차가움에 빠져 허덕대. No, I'm not okay. 의미 없는 집착들에 지쳐가는데. Baby, I'll die. 이 소설 안에서 난. Baby, tell me the truth. Do you really mean to say it again? I think you're lying. Oh my gosh, you confuse me like hell. Don't fake your mind. You don't have to lie. You know I want you. I only want you. During the intro with all the strings, I was kind of expecting the strings to continue. This is definitely not it. Okay. It's a vibe though. I'll give it that. Drum fill. Whoa. Very atmospheric. Also, the 16th note synth bass there. Baby, what should I do? Why do I have these things in my head? We are denying all our feelings, but we're here again. Don't fake your mind. You don't have to lie. You know I want you. I only want you. Can you see me cry? I can save myself. 이제 모든 상관없듯 빠져가는데. Even if I die, we were meant to be. 모든 게 내 착각이 만들어낸 얘기뿐이야. You're my gravity. This song's really interesting because I can't really pinpoint what this could be. From the visuals, I'm guessing maybe like a fantasy romance webtoon of sorts, but I really don't know. That's the vibes that I'm getting from it, but the song definitely doesn't really fit. Yeah, that's interesting. Because I don't actually know. Sometimes, let me get off the screen just so copyright. I don't chance copyright or anything like that. But yeah, this one's really interesting because typically on a webtoon you can kind of piece together what it's about, or whatever media a song is made for. You can kind of piece together like what it is without actually having seen it for an OST. Now, that's not necessarily the case for all OSTs. I think it's a lot easier on a film or like a drama where there's actual moving pictures behind it when you can piece together things. Like, whenever I talk about OSTs, I always end up with John Williams because he's kind of like the textbook definition of an OST composer. He's a legend of the game, and take his Imperial March from Star Wars, right? I think without having seen Star Wars, you know the tune, the dun 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 dun. Immediately hearing that without having seen it, you can kind of feel it's like a military march, kind of like the baddies marching in on a village or whatever it is, right? And well, that's genuinely the case. That tune usually plays when the stormtroopers and Darth Vader are marching through a shuttle or whatever have you. With an with the drama OST, it's typically a lot easier to make a song based around like romance or angst, or it's easier to portray heavier emotions through song than lighter ones. Like slice of life, rom coms, romance, thrillers, crime thrillers, stuff like that. Those are, I think, easier to piece together when it comes to OSTs. Webtoons is very different because while there's art on a piece of paper for the viewer to read, but the reader has to interpret how each picture comes together. It's not as clear as like watching a moving video, right? So in that way, it becomes a little bit more complicated to piece songs together to the actual visuals because there technically aren't any visuals to see. It's a series of visuals that your brain has to animate itself. And with this song, it really doesn't give that much of a like inkling on what the visuals are, which I think is very interesting because the song has the same effect on the listener as what how I view a webtoon to have an effect on the reader. Does that make sense? It's like this is part two, so there has to be a part one for this OST, and maybe it's following a similar line. I don't know. The song is pretty good though. I am still kind of like caught off guard by the way the song starts is so pretty with the strings, and then all of a sudden we move on to this like, well, let's go back to it. You get like the swelling bass or this swelling string. And then all of a sudden it goes into like this kind of Moombahton vibe, and just it caught me a little bit off guard, but the song's an alright. The song's alright. Song's alright. Okay. Anyways, last song. This one. This one kind of hurts because this one is from the. Again, this might actually be a webtoon, but Yolguk Scandal. This one is performed by bugAboo. Now, they aren't a group anymore. They haven't been a group for like nearly 2 months at this point. bugAboo, the first girl group under Ryan S. Jun's own personal company, the composer producer Ryan S. Jun. They had a debut, I think the self-titled debut, which was it was actually a really good song. I really liked the group. Also because they had a member from Hokkaido. Yuna was from Sapporo, and it was really cool seeing someone from my neck of the woods in Japan be an idol in Korea. Then they had Pop, a second comeback, which it was kind of like this quirky like EDM song, and it was a pretty good song. It was okay, and then we hadn't really heard from them in a while, and then the company kind of axed the group, and yeah, say what you will about Ryan S. Jun as a person and maybe his views on certain topics. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to listen to some music. And unfortunately, bugAboo aren't around anymore, but it seems that there were some projects that were in the pipeline that made it into fruition post disbandment. So let's think back on all the good memories they've had with Bonita. Well, here we go. 3, 2, 1. A little bit of a whistle thing going. Again with the kind of a Moombaton-ish vibe. I'm liking this build up. Yeah, it is really good with this Moombaton vibe, and I quite enjoy it. There's good energy with this song. Even in reverse, the energy was still there, and I like that. They drew it back a little bit, but it wasn't like they got rid of the energy altogether. Interesting percussion line going in the background. It sounds like woodblocks almost. Bringing the snares. Kick drums in well. If this was an actual song, this would be like a dance break here. I love the two different like wind instruments. It almost sounds like a reed whistle and a pan flute. Nice hold. Bring it in on the 2. Ooh, that song had good energy to it. I really like that. It's, oh man. I kind of wish that was like a proper bugAboo song instead of a post-disbandment OST, but that was really good. The vibes were really good. It's not like happy vibes, but it's like really good energy. I could see like really kind of like energetic dance choreo to go along with this. The song just feels lively. It's the way the percussion line goes, the kind of like hollowed out like bass drum kind of sound, the echoey bass drum. You've got the little bit of the flutes and the almost sound like a reed flute, a pan flute. The not excessive, the large amount of gang chanting in the chorus, the rap verse in the middle. I'm assuming from Jin. Yeah, probably Jin, but the song just works. It's a very typical, like, in terms of song structure, it's a very typical pop song. but it's the little bits that they do differently. Like, there have been many artists that have done gang vocals. That's nothing new. There's groups that have added like pan flutes and flute sounds. There's groups that are using this like kind of moonbaton sound. In fact, already in this video we've heard moonbaton once already. But something about this song, the combination and the balance of all of it just works for me. Can't really explain it better than that. Maybe it's like a nostalgia factor and that like this group doesn't exist anymore. That I'm feeling this way more than anything, but you know, I really enjoyed that one. That was a really good time. But that's it for me. Even though it was only 3 songs, I talked your ears off. Thank you all for joining me on week 4 of OST Saturdays. It kind of feels weird saying that it's been 4 weeks already, but it is the 28th and it does make sense. Anyways, that's it for me today. I probably should have asked this in the beginning, but last week's OST Saturday is no longer blocked on YouTube, so let me know if I should go and unblock or actually go and list that. Right now, it's on an off-site video hosting platform. But we've got. Let me actually open my YouTube dashboard, because I'm pretty sure, even though it does still have like copyright flags on it, and there's still some in dispute. Yeah, all of them are under the no impact category, so I could go and upload it, but like the preview video for it is already out and stuff, so I might just leave it how it is. But yeah, thank you all for watching this week's OST Saturday. If you did enjoy and want to see more, channel icon is up there. You can find the back catalog of stuff I watched in the past. Drop a subscription if you want to keep up to date with whenever I upload new videos. And if you want to watch another video of mine right away, YouTube recommends you watch that video down there. And until next time, bye bye.